Good afternoon and a warm welcome from Cardiff House Park, basking in the sunshine, where England have already been crowned Grand Slam champions this season. This then is to see who can finish second in the 2021 table. England confirming their dominance with victory, albeit hard fought, over a spirited Italy side. Ireland and France then neck and neck to see who finishes second, with the host Wales bringing the curtain down against Scotland. England at the top of the pile, maximum points once more, but it's closely fought between Ireland and France. Just a point separates them to see who finishes runners-up. Wales then will be hoping, after a tough campaign, to finish higher up the table with victory over Scotland. Both these sides having gone down to their English counterparts, hoping to finish strongly. France lost in round one. They'll rue the chance that they had against England, ahead by 19 points to 3 in the first quarter. Since then, they've swept all before them, scoring 15 tries. And they have pace and power, and many who have featured in the top 14. Ireland have featured well since losing their 10-match winning streak against England. No Grand Slam this year then, but they have a nucleus of stars in their armoury, which will no doubt provide the senior side in years to come. The anthems shortly, but a familiar sight as both sides line up and stand against racism in all forms in rugby and throughout all sports and society.
Solidarity, integrity and respect are the core values of our game. Rugby is united against racism. We would like to mark our stand against discrimination with a moment's silence. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, please now join us for the anthems. First up, France.
Richie Murphy makes 7 changes from the side that had to dig deep for victory to beat Italy. In come Lassisi and Loughnan up front. McKee, Ford, Moxham and Jennings are promoted behind. McKee's inclusion means a positional switch for Nathan Doak from 9 to 10. Captain Alex Kendallen also moves to his customary number 8 position. And Philippe O'Hare makes wholesale changes as well. 9 in all from the teeth that puts Scotland to the sword. There's a complete revamp with a new front 5, complemented with Beauchaton and Tixeron returning in the back row. Some consistency in selection behind though, but Galeton and Biel Biarre come in. Biel Biarre comes in for the suspended Rabier on the wing. Plenty waiting in the wings who've already had exposure in the 4 rounds previously. So the main prize has gone, but it's about finishing strongly. It's Dennis Leamy peering through. He's part of the Irish contingent, the Irish team. Le Garec is a main player for them. Mike McCarthy is alongside me, and a big chance for both sides to finish second.
Certainly is. It's an absolutely scorching day here in Cardiff, and a real chance to end the campaign on a high, second versus third. And the way Ireland responded to a difficult first half versus Italy will have been hugely pleasing to Richie Murphy in round 4. And for France, similar to Ireland, with the 1 loss to England, it's going to be an exciting matchup.
France,
Sam Grove-White from Scotland is in charge of this one, the second instalment on the final day of the Six Nations Under-20s Championship here in Cardiff. It's France-Ireland. And Captain Kendallen takes the
tackle in the air.
Takes it in the air. He was tackled in the air.
Tackle in the air.
So that is a bit of indiscipline straight away from France. And just a bit of a soft one to get us going.
And just the start Ireland needed. You know, they've started a little bit slowly in the last couple of games against England, and last week also against Italy, where they went into half-time 11 points behind. So a really good start for them there. Good field position and a chance to show what they've got.
Loughnan. Well, it looked a bit of a good ball. Went a bit wayward towards McKee, but they've recovered well. Lassisi stopped in his tracks by the blue wall. That's
in front, stop, 8.
Confronted 1. Ireland. Aerial, it goes aerial by Doak, taken though by France, and they've got firepower behind. But it's the grunt up front, first of all.
Erect!
To Debes. That half-back partnership from Ulster, Doak and McKee.
Use it.
But it's all about winning the gain line here. France are up for this one.
Yeah, trying to get over the gain line, win those collisions, get that momentum for your team, and then if you're getting that go forward, it's much easier to play off for the whole team.
Still going towards the blind side, but not quite enough impetus from an Ireland point of view at the moment. It's just a bit stagnant. Doak. Well, and they forced the mistake, France, and it had an air of inevitability. Here they come through Nelson Epe towards Moncala. This is the threat that France pose. Le Garec out to Debes with a cross kick, but this should be fielded
Thanks, mate. 22.
by Jude Pothlewaite, but the early signs, Mike, are there.
TMO check.
Yeah, and like you said, Ireland are
Dan,
keeping the
we're
ball
gonna come
very
to the
well,
screen.
but they're not ultimately not getting any go forward.
Okay, I'm going to show you an illegal charge by a French player.
Thanks, mate.
Bear with me for number.
Yeah, no
TMO's
worries.
just seen something off the ball.
We've time off. We have a TMO check.
And it could be for this illegal challenge on
Okay,
Conor
Sam, are you
McKee.
seeing that, yeah?
No, we're just at the screen now, mate. So
Okay, look at the actions of 8 blue with a tuck shoulder on the player that's going down.
let's roll that from the start, because we missed that because we were.
Yeah, they're just looking to see
So,
if Killian Tixeron's
I just want to
shoulders
see
hit him on the
if
chin.
The scrum cap is making a wrapper of his not, please. So we need to get an angle that shows that, please.
Well, that is a nasty one. There's no arms
Yeah,
involved
we've got an angle of the
whatsoever,
touch
and
shoulder. Bear with
Tixeron's
us.
going to be in trouble here, surely.
Yeah,
Look,
I think
so what I'm
his,
seeing here, Dan, is we do have foul play because it is a tuck shoulder. However, the Ireland player is slipping significantly. So for me, it's a yellow card to 8 France.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, Sam.
Thanks, mate. Can you just get us the mark, and I'll give a yellow card to 8 France.
Well, France are going to be down to 14 men
Thanks, mate.
for
Captain in 8. Wheat.
10 minutes.
Look, the player is slipping, but you have made head contact. Sorry. It's a yellow card offence.
Would you agree with that? I know that there's mitigation in terms of slipping, but it's a very nasty
Where's the mark, Dan?
challenge.
yeah,
And that could have been far
sure.
worse.
yeah, I think it is the right decision. You know, we've seen a few across the championship similar to that.
Yeah.
I saw a few last week, and you know, ultimately for the referees, it starts
Yeah.
with the red.
Of
Are there any
the,
mitigating factors?
almost
Is he
perfect.
dropping his body height? And there for Killian Tixeron, he can count himself lucky, but Conor McKee is dipping down. He's falling towards the floor slightly, and a slight reprieve there. And I'm sure Killian Tixeron is going on there feeling very, very relieved.
France then down
Good
to
line.
14, so this is a chance for Ireland to take advantage. That's the guilty Killian Tixeron. Soroka's not cleanly back, and France come away with it through Malay. So not controlled. So there's some nervousness on both sides at the moment.
Yeah, and I think for Ireland, there's so many changes. 9 changes last week, 7 changes this week to the starting team, and that togetherness over a short, you know, preparation period of 3 or 4 or 5 days can be difficult to get everyone on the same page.
Good carry by Loughnan.
No left.
Go. Out to Cathal Ford.
Push it. Onside.
It's slowed up,
Use
so this
it!
will go aerial once more. Taken brilliantly in the air by Chapche from Lyon. Clear-cut opportunities early on, both sides just feeling their way into this one. Legarec.
Juela.
All about
Weener.
the collisions and nobody
Right, no, hands up.
getting over the advantage line in that few phases.
Wait.
That's Harry Sheridan.
Use it!
Surges on. One for Doak to chase, but both sides happy at the moment in their defensive patterns and giving nothing away. Legarec. A lot of ball in playtime, Mike, but nothing developing.
Yeah, certainly defences are on top in this first 5 minutes. Both teams have had a chance to attack with the ball. Ireland not really getting anywhere. Testament to France's blue brick wall that's there, coming up, getting off the line, getting in their faces, and the same when Ireland have attacked. France defending very well. So it's all about field position at the moment.
Osborne goes for territory. That's been banged long. Is it going to go all the way? Not quite.
22.
And it's back to the 22. And Jamie Osborne, who's had Pro 14 experience with Leinster.
Yeah, and he's a big, elusive runner. You know, he's cool, calm, collective. Seems to have real time on the ball. Certainly reminds me, I said it last week, reminds me of Rob Kearney. Just the amount of time he has on the ball, and he makes really good decisions under pressure.
Just didn't judge it that time. This is Kendallin, another who seems to have a big future in front of him, and a big carry as well that time. Good angle from Osborne over the gain line. Half a chance for Ireland. Doak. The door slams shut in his face. Sheridan takes it on. Well, bright
Clear
start
left by 3
for
France.
both. Good counter
Clear left
by
3
France, and Ireland guilty of not releasing.
Hold on.
Yeah, certainly a good turnover by France there, relieving the pressure. Good build-up play by Ireland, but a little bit slow in their arrival to the breakdown in terms of clearing out the ball carrier. Samilo slightly late there. And good defensive set from France with 14 men.
They've got a massive back row in Boshota Haddad, who's been ever present in their 15 throughout this
Ireland.
campaign, but that was
We'll get you
Paul
the mark
Marley
here.
that
Stay on
time.
this gap, please.
I'm sure France are looking to take some inspiration from watching France versus Australia earlier, where France
Good, Ben, just come to the middle.
won for the first time away from home since 1990, so I'm sure they were watching earlier.
Good bit of ball for France to work with, trying to get Barret over the advantage line. Options in Montcalard. This is where they can threaten. They're strong and there is an advantage.
Avantage bleu!
Le Garec. Here's the first pod of French forwards to take it on. Through the middle goes Mallet once more, the workman-like Paul Mallet. And they're threatening far side options for Le Garec.
That's legal, but we're
they'll
playing
have to come
advantage.
back. And Jude Pothlewaite giving the penalty away.
Ireland 13 offside.
As he
13.
was offside, according to Sam Grove-White.
Yeah, and France are putting Ireland under pressure when they're attacking. Leo Barret there with 2 nice little line breaks. A good pick and go from Mallet getting through the middle. And this French side, they certainly play like their senior team play. Their set piece is their bread and butter, their scrum, their maul, their line out. And then they've got hard striking runners that run back against the grain, always looking to get their hands free out of the tackle. Look at that little offload off the floor. Absolutely brilliant stuff. And the speed of ball they're playing at, it's very hard for the defence to set and get up and get off the line.
And they could have a net gain here with a man in the bin as Le Garec goes through his preparation. Lan Le Garec from Racing, no problem at all. And we have our first points in the 10th minute with France 3 to the good.
Yeah, and that's great from France with a man down. It's very difficult to play when you're a man down and there's a lot more pressure on you, so they'll be very relieved to come away with 3 points and be leading on the scoreboard. Just under 3 minutes left on the yellow card, so advantage to France.
Kylian Tixeron waiting in the wings to come back on. Le Garec has had experience with Racing, as have many in the French side. They've really got a young crop coming through. We've seen that over the years at under-20 level. They've won twice in recent years in the Junior World Cup, and that seeped through to the senior side.
Yeah, and a lot of those under-20s players you just referred to, they're all playing for the senior squad now. There's, you know, a very high number of them, so they're producing some incredibly talented and exciting players.
9, stay out.
But it's the same for Ireland. You know, whether the players are coming through that school system or club system. St Michael's a real school, providing the likes of Ryan Bird, James Ryan more recently, Dan Levy as well.
Loughnane has it at the base of that rolling ball. It's been taken down illegally so.
Guy on the ground, mate.
So they've got a shot to nothing here, Ireland. Doak, good patterns developing behind now. Then Osborne comes into the line. Out to Moxham. 5 metres out. Great pre-planned move from Ireland. They're looking threatening. McKee. Forwards out there giving options. As they keep it tight for
hands up.
One more surge round the corner. There's a second advantage. They're knocking
hands
at the door, Ireland.
McKee
to Doak, a miss pass out to Osborne. It was his break who started it. He wasn't held and lunged over the try line. And it's the impressive Jamie Osborne who bags the first try of the evening.
Fantastic team try from Ireland. It's that man, Jamie Osborne, who's been ever present all championship. And a fantastic team try. The preset move with a little wrap around here. Cahill Ford, you know, he can play at 10 as well, giving the inside pass, drawing in all those defenders. Out the back door, everyone running hard onto the ball. And Jamie Osborne really showing his strength to fight through the contact and reach and get his big frame over the line. Fantastic try by Ireland. Well,
he really should have been stopped in his tracks, but taking nothing away from Jamie Osborne. Strength, power, and did enough to go over. It's converted, and it has been costly for France, as Kylian Tixeron will come back to make it 15 apiece.
Yeah, and it's those yards after contact. Look at the fight there. He's been held by 2 French players, but he manages to wriggle, pump the legs, win the inches, get that momentum, get over the try line, and that is a fantastic finish by Jamie Osborne.
So he served his time, Tixeron.
Onside.
And I think that's what this Irish team have to do against this bigger, heavy French side. They've got to keep the ball, try and run them around, and that's when the gaps in the discipline might start to go.
Kendallin.
Use it! Stop one.
That's one for Ben Moxham to change. A bit too far that time. Taken by Shapshea. He twice crossed the whitewash against Wales. But this is where Ireland have got to be at their best. Their first line tackling. And that was wayward, way over Nelson Epe. So just a bit disjointed behind from France.
France. Bleu.
Yeah, and Thibaut Debayas totally overcooked that one. Probably testament to the line that Ireland have got in front of them, putting pressure on.
Stay 10. Wait, just Messi.
Really interested to see how Nathan Doak goes today at 10. As we know, he's normally a 9.
Ireland in, fully in.
And he's been fantastic this
Ireland,
competition.
We don't take forever and then not form the gap. 1 metre gap, in we come, please. Yep.
But interesting to see if he can have that same influence on the game as he does when he's playing at 9.
Maul.
To the front it goes, and round comes Loughnane to drive it on.
Cease. Cease.
And it's an effective drive by the Irish 8 as well.
Advantage 3.
Bit of indiscipline coming from France. Kendallin slips one tackle. Doak, a little chip and chase. And it's regathered as well by Pothelwaite. Out it goes left to Doak. Well, they'll go back because France were competing legally, but just a little deft chip over the top by that man, Nathan Doak, creating problems for France.
Yeah, and they've obviously identified some space there. It doesn't really look like there's too much space there, but it's a tactic they used last week against Italy, and it actually backfired on them because they got charged down twice, and you know it led to a couple of tries. But you know, a good line out, a good maul. off the set piece. And that man Kendellen leading from the front as he's done all competition. Picked up a number of Player of the Match awards this campaign. And he really does lead from the front.
Nolan. That's 2 mob collapse.
Perhaps he'd have been looking for just a few more metres on that one.
No collapse of the mob.
But it's a good opportunity here for Ireland.
Yeah, in the set.
Shift! Let's take a red. Up!
Again, they try and
Backwards,
run.
you bind one. Not the leg stay. Thanks, mate. Use it 9. Right 9 now.
Well, Ireland have to be careful. It comes out to Ford. Or just squirts out and it's been turned over.
Cease.
So just a lack of control at the base, and it is now a foot brace. Dope to
Green, stop.
Jamie Osborne. So just a bit scrappy that from Ireland. Shouldn't have
Such a stone.
pleased Richie Murphy. That's better into space as Legarek is backpedaling. And that is definitely, again, Ireland will be more than happy with that end result.
Yeah, and I think the backs made up for it a little bit there for Ireland. I think the forwards certainly won't have been happy. They got a great drive on, a great maul, got some good go forward for the team. And then the backs gave up the ball pretty cheaply.
Read the medic.
But they've got out of jail. Good relieving kick pressure, and they're in a good position here on the 22, and another chance to use their maul, which has been a weapon for them a lot of this competition.
Last maul better. Do not collapse or lift the leg, okay?
It was Paul Malley who
Last maul was better. Do not lift the leg
was
or collapse.
receiving treatment.
Right.
So it's pretty even Stevens at the moment. An interesting matchup, as you'd expect, from 2 and 3 in the table. Just a point separating these sides.
Yeah, and I imagine a lot of tired bodies. It's been a congested campaign. They're coming to an end now, 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Last week, Ireland had to fly out 2 players to add to their squad.
Water break.
You know, Richie Murphy's made sure everyone gets valuable exposure under the belts this competition, and he really developed them and given them all an opportunity. Certainly not being scared to use his squad.
So
1 minute water
there
break.
is a few players receiving treatment, so they will take a water break, which is due on the 20-minute mark, and they'll do so in the second half as well. So just the one try coming from Ireland, well worked, and it's Osborne, power, strength, slips Shapshe's tackle and did enough to get over.
Yeah, he's big and he's tall, about 6'4". You know, this back line is pretty tall and he's rangy, and that's great fight through the contact, you know, pumping the legs. You know, a lot of the coaches talk about not just, you know, getting tackled and going to ground. It's all about those yards after contact, pumping the legs, really fighting through the contact. And it really is a good finish.
I'm sure we'll see more of Jamie Osborne in next year's United Rugby Championship.
Certainly a lot of these players looking to push up that
Green
provincial
ball,
ladder
and then we go.
with big performances today. Alex Kendellen, you know, CJ Stander moving on from Munster. He's been ever present this campaign, so certainly
Ball.
catching the eye.
50.
Well, Mike mentioned
8,
the
don't
maul
change.
as a weapon. Here it is once more. Slowly but surely driving on.
Down by Green.
Not taken down that time. Ford goes route 1. Just a lazy pass though, and it could work out for Biarre. Has he got the legs?
Committed tackle.
It was a committed tackle, a legal tackle. Tixeron is there in support. At 6s and 7s are Ireland, and down over goes Debaes, Thibaut Debaes. Well, it came from an Irish mistake deep in French territory, It was a laboured pass that found no, and down the right flank went Biare, and when they recycled, they had more players there. That was the laboured pass, and it's finished in the end by Debes.
Yeah, certainly against the run of play. But that's great work from Nathan Doak, chasing back. He just does enough to disrupt him and get him to ground, but that's great work from the number 8, Killian Tixeron. And what a line from the number 10 here, and great footwork. Thibaut Debias hitting the line at pace, little bit of footwork, and getting over the line.
What is it you're checking, Dan? He was from, yeah, the Scrum Half, yeah, I thought he was.
I think Conor McKee was looking for Kinderland there, but the pass goes to no one.
And it's a 7-point score as Legarec adds the extras. So against the run of play, disappointment for Ireland, capitalised by the French.
Yeah, and a real early warning as to how dangerous and potent this team is. It was the same against Italy last week, very dangerous, their back three. But that's a great chase by Nathan Doak. Nearly does enough to stop the try. But Killian Tixeron does really well, dives on that loose ball, and this line, beautiful line, back against the grain. Lovely bit of footwork, left foot step, and over he goes.
Yeah, there was no panic from Tixeron. He went to ground, they recycled quickly.
You fall that way, you've got to get out quicker.
A great line by Debes.
You fall on that side, you must roll out quicker.
And they've yielded another penalty, Ireland, from the restart. It's the last thing you want after giving away a try.
Yeah, and it's been the last 2 games for Ireland's been a bit of a theme. They gave 19 penalties away against England.
Yeah, mark there, please.
Which is obviously far too many. So it's certainly been a work on last week against Italy and coming into this game. And, you know, early on in the game, it's about painting that picture to the referee, setting your stall out that you're the disciplined side.
Good ball.
4-0,
Above everybody else is Adrien Varion.
Off him.
Patterns developing behind, but behind the gain line, Ireland do well. Chapche, silky runner, is Alexandre Chapche of Lyon.
First offence is 10 green offside.
And it is
First
Nathan
offence,
Doak
10 green
adjudged
offside.
to be offside. Just a bit of ill discipline in Ireland's game at the moment. They need to regroup.
Just here. 10 offside is the first offence.
And it's something Richie Murphy spoke about after the game against Italy last week, where they went in at half-time 11 points down, and the problem was in that first half against Italy they were compounding errors, so a negative, an error on top of an error, and then that second half they completely changed it around against Italy. But they've got to stay out of that territory of giving too many penalties away. Otherwise that pressure turns into scoreboard pressure.
So it's France.
Well, it wasn't taken down, according to some...
Yeah, 6.
No, it was in the end. I think that was on the review of the touch judge. It's taken on by Leo Barre. Legarec out to the big men, one of them being Ployer.
That is knocked on the ground. We go back.
They'll have to go
6
back.
green early across. 6.
And it's Alex
Thanks,
Soroka.
mate.
So these are compounding now. We've
6
seen, as
taking the man
you
early.
mentioned, Mike, there's been a few. They'll have to
6.
be careful here, but
That's
this is
the
going to be
call. Jamie,
planted
you
right
helped
in the
them. 6,
corner.
that's the call.
Yeah, it's backing up a mistake with a mistake, and you know, Soroka there giving away the penalty, but you know, he's been fantastic all campaign.
Yeah.
But
On
you know,
the line.
real opportunity for France
Wait
here.
on the ground, please. Thank you.
Like their senior team, as I said, they pride themselves on the bread and butter, the scrum, the maul.
Just apologising, Alex Soroka, to his teammates. Another one who looks to have a big future, but France here hoping to drive it over the try line through Beauchaton. They've arrived at their destination, and it's the blindside flanker Pierre Beauchaton who shoves his way over the try line, but
Yeah,
now
Sam.
I've got an AR check. We want to check the setup, please.
Has it?
Yeah, it looked okay to me, Sam, but we will
Is
check
it
for you.
legal?
Bear with
They
us.
will check. It looked okay, but they're going to make sure.
Yeah, just checking for truck and trailer. Initially, it looked like a really good shift drive. Great take there. And really clever peel there. Thomas
Right,
Ployer,
Dan, from that view,
pre-planned
ball
move.
comes down legally. It's transferred to 4, who's always at the front. He's fine to play on. The try looks good to me.
Yeah, try is good, I
Thanks,
agree.
mate.
Well, quickly deliberated by the TMO, Dan Jones, no problem at all. And that is Pierre Beauchamp, who grabs their second try, and it's come in quick succession.
Yeah, and a really well worked try. Pre-planned move, shift drive, to win the ball. And then Thomas Ployer with the spin and the peel coming down the short side. And Pierre Beauchamp getting over.
Strike from Nolan Le Garec, and quite quickly it's a 10-point advantage for France.
And you can see there all the weight from the Irish team committing to that pod of 3 forwards who win the ball. But that little spin round the front creates a space. Ireland haven't got enough numbers to defend it. And France showing they can score through their forwards or through their backs.
It's been a recurring theme throughout the campaign. Quite often when they score one, they'll score a couple in quick succession, and they've done so after Thibaut Debes' first try.
Got net roll, France 3.
Well, this
Cleared
is
by
a
the net.
needless penalty, and not for the first
Net
time
goal,
given away
France
by
3.
Mallet.
Thanks, Ben.
Around the neck.
Shot.
Well, one of those penalties that'll frustrate any coach out there. They've just taken a 10-point and the advantage, and this is a gift.
Yeah, obviously something refs are very hot on. You know, neck rolls. You know, number 3 there for France. Paul Mallet realises he's arrived at the breakdown. He's a little bit late. He's too high, and he's in that no man's land where he can do nothing. So the only way to get him out, get that Irish player out of the ruck, is to do the neck roll.
No problem for Nathan Doak, who brings Ireland back within a converted try after Paul Mallet's indiscretion.
Yeah, and really important Ireland stay in touch. They're back to a 7-point deficit. It's easy for the scoreboard to get away from you.
Onside, Auger.
Kendellen is again the receiver. Intricate passing between Lochner and let's
Use
see.
it, 9.
Shapshay again evades the first tackle. Well, it's been turned over now then. Shapshay has gone down, and France
We do have a head injury there.
did think that there was something off the ball. There is a head injury, so that's why
Scrum.
they've had to stop
Thanks, mate.
proceedings. He did come down with a thump.
For me live, I didn't have him coming over the shoulder. I had it beneath the shoulder, so there's no foul play. If you've got something different, then that's fine.
Such an elusive run. He skips the first tackle, does Shapshay. Well, is that a question of going into
We get to a
Kendellen?
scrum, Dan.
Yeah, the thing is, it looks so much worse in slow motion. You've got to realise the speed that Shapshay is
just
travelling
a
at.
high, just a high tackle penalty only? Is that what you're saying, Dan? Yeah, cool. It is a high tackle. It is a penalty only. Yes. Yeah, and that's why it's only a penalty.
Well, it is high, but
Yeah,
nothing more than a penalty.
Yeah, absolutely no malice at all there from Alex Kendellen, the captain for Ireland. You know, Shapshay, he's got lovely footwork. The speed that he's running at just accidentally catches him on his shoulder.
Mark's here.
Well, we saw a red card next door in the Wales-Argentina game, and players nowadays, Mike, have got to be so careful in this aspect. They've got to get it bang on.
Yeah, exactly. It's changing habits. You know, a lot of players
Ball.
professionally have tackled it
First
differently
stop.
for seasons. for years, and suddenly to change it in a season, it does take time, and it is different. It takes some getting used to.
On go the France 8. Le Garec. Debes out to Chapche, who's recovered. Taken down by Shane Jennings, who just slipped into the tackle de Montcaillard. Mallet. Big bruising forwards in the French lineup, and that has been knocked forward. And Ireland forcing the mistake from Le Garec. Not often you see that man make a mistake.
Yeah, and Ireland defending well. You can see what it means from the energy. They're high-fiving each other, and Soroka there giving the high fives. I was calling him Rambo last week with his lovely long locks, but he's been fantastic all campaign. See that Oisin McCormack back from injury after that England game. He's a real dog. Really frustrating, and
pretty even Stevens in terms of the handling errors. Next score is going to be crucial.
Yeah, and I'm sure Ireland don't want to get a rocket as they got last week against Italy at half-time, where it was a game of two halves. They were pretty lethargic in their first half, maybe a bit of a hangover since their game against England in round 3, but the way they came out in the second half, the bounce, the energy, it turned into real collision winners in that second half against a very strong Italy team.
An Italy team who flourished throughout the campaign. Great to see that they've not only secured a victory, but they've performed well throughout. And this is going to be a forced change for Ireland, with Temi Lasisi of Leinster coming on. On comes George Sanderson.
Time back on. First scrum, balance, stability.
And Matteo Garcia comes on in place of Alexandre Chapche. He's going to require the 10-minute HIA requirement.
Certainly Ireland will hope they don't lose any props, because it was a big concern for them last week against Italy, where they were missing four of their props in their squad.
Bind.
So Saunderson from Ulster comes on in place of Lasisi of Leinster.
Hold your weight, don't go back, don't go forward, okay? Both teams
there he is. So it's not an all Leinster trio in front row now.
Forward, you go back, so
the Ulster man, George Saunderson, coming on. He started last week. Certainly looking to make a mark here and a big impact off the bench.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Stable.
That's a pretty even matchup in that scrum. Good kick by... It's taken by Jennings. Jennings, can he go all the way? Jennings just looked for support. Door slams shut momentarily. They're still waiting out in wide open spaces. Ireland taken on by Postlethwaite. Samilo. Hello, great barging run.
Advantage offside.
Kendallin under the sticks. Has he got there? Not quite. Soroka waits patiently. Soroka for the try line. Is he on the whitewash? No, according to Sam Grove White. They're there again. And the try has been awarded finally. And Kendallin comes away. But it all started with a deft little chip further upfield, taken by Jennings. And then Kendallin did the rest.
Another lovely team try. Jennings with a lovely take there, perfectly weighted kick. Good carry. And then look at Postlethwaite here. He's big, he's powerful, he's direct. Lovely work by Illo and Soroka there leading up to it. And then Alex Kendallin getting over the try line. Captain leading from the front, as we keep saying. He was part of the turnaround against Italy last week. burrowing his way over, and Ireland have got a very good pick and go game. When they get near the line, the ball carrier is direct. They have 2 latches either side, driving the player through the contact.
Simple conversion for Doak. So we're all square once more with 10 minutes to go until the interval, and that's put a different complexion on the situation.
Another try-fest. 2 great Irish team tries.
Go.
Really important they exit well here now. Commentator's curse.
Yes, they've turned it over, France. Moncala. Players out there in French shirts. Not quite that time, didn't work for
Ireland, you have an option.
Leo
The ball is still
Barret.
live here, Stephen. Scrum option, forward into touch.
So important is the Alex Kendellen to the Irish side.
Melee.
He scored twice
Fair.
when
Scrum
it
green.
looked quite dicey against Italy. That was the turnover, and he's crashed over once more.
Yeah, and he backs it up week after week. I mean, this is his 5th start.
Straight, not in. Straight. Straight, not in. I make sure. Straight.
Start
not
at
in.
7 against Italy.
It was good
And
balance though.
just his work rate around the
Balance team
park.
play.
He's all action. He does everything, whether he's winning lineouts, carrying the ball,
Yeah, great.
defensively aggressive, getting in
Same
people's
balance,
faces.
same patience.
And he's a real player that leads with his actions, and everyone else gets in behind him and follows.
8. Wheat in.
Really good work there, actually, from
Crouch.
number 11, Shane Jennings, coming off his wing and making the tackle.
6.
Did enough to disrupt France.
And that one has gone Ireland's way once more. And it's gone against Malay. He's had a difficult first half an hour. He's been pinged for a few things by Sam Grow-White.
1 metre that way.
And he was the guilty party once more.
Yeah, good scrum by Ireland. All scrummaging as one.
For me, you just collapse. I agree. I'll watch. You collapse.
Paul Mallet, just referee saying there he collapsed, couldn't take the pressure of the weight coming through from Ireland. 16 feet on the floor, all driving in one direction. Good body positions.
Stay up. Okay.
Taken at the front by Soroka. Out it goes to Doak. Fires one out in midfield, bringing Osborne into the move.
9, stop.
And that was a bit of a waste in the end.
Yeah. Back 10. Back 10. There, yeah.
Certainly a bit of wasted possession there.
Should Benji.
Well, it looked promising
Look.
as Osborne crashed into the French back line. But then that was a wayward kick.
Yeah, good carry by Osborne. Hard and direct, back against the grain, and I think the kick comes from pressure from the French defence, just coming up hard off the line.
9, 10. No, it's from Ireland.
It's misfired by Ireland. So France come away with it. Along the three-quarter line. Garcia, who's come on momentarily for Chapche. A bit of afters between both Postlethwaite and Gaetan.
Julianus! Arrête.
Legarek possibly a bit far that time. And it's easy for Osborne to collect.
Obstruction 10 Ireland.
Well, those are the needless
Obstruction
penalties that
10
Ireland need to stamp out. And it's Doak who's obstructed. And there's a chance of a three-pointer.
I was just about to say that's great work by Nathan Doak, shielding the French chasers to give a clean catch, and I thought he got away with it, but good work from the touch judge. Nathan Doak there, blocking out the French player so he can't make the tackle.
Yeah, Marcus here, pal. Yeah, they've not done it, but make sure you wait till they're down. Wait till they're down.
Leo Barret unable to get there to make the tackle because of Nathan Doak blocking him with the shoulder.
Well, the penalty was available, but France are up to more.
Over 15. Old man down, old man to ground. You're not on ball.
French forwards at close quarters. This is the try scorer, Pierre Beauchamp. Driven back, though, by Ireland. Mallet this time. Tries to set it up. And again, the outstretched arm of Sam Grove-White indicates a penalty. Through goes Haddad. They're within 5 meters of striking distance now. On by Bordenave. Mallet the try scorer, and it's as easy as that for France. And that was driven on by the forwards. Too many options, and Mallet, it was a clean run through for the tight head prop.
And it started from the maul again. Good worked maul by France, peeling off the back this time rather than the front, peeling off the back. And what a line from Matthias Haddad, the Perpignan man. Really great line, good fend. And then it's just simply a run-in for Paul Mallet because the Irish defence can't reset in time. Seeing some fantastic tries. And that's beautifully worked again, all stemming from the clever work of the maul. We saw France score a try at the start of the game where they peeled around the front. Great variety there in changing it up and peeling around the tail of the line out. Good composure, good carries.
Well, he's given away a few penalties, has Paul Mallet. But he's scored an important try for his team, which should be converted by Nolan Le Garrec. Another 7-point score then, untimely, some 3 minutes before the interval.
And I can tell you from knowing front row forwards, I'm sure he'd rather have a dominant scrum than be scoring a try.
But great work, Haddad, the creator, finished off by Paul Mallet.
Yeah, they run hard, they run direct, this French side. Always looking to get their hands free.
So it's back and forth this run. We were ready for it to explode. It certainly has in the second quarter. 5 tries already.
Yeah. Should this happened last week as well, didn't it?
And there is Chapche, unfortunately for him. His game has come to an end.
Sore calf, it looked.
Matteo Garcia from Bordeaux-Bègles is on.
Then, if that's right. Right, put it around quickly.
So that is a blow for France behind. He is such an elusive runner, Chapche.
He certainly looked dangerous today, hasn't he?
Let's go.
Travelling at real speed, great footwork. Really difficult to defend
Time
against.
On. In and set now, please.
Certainly a front five's worst nightmare.
9.
Soroka.
Both on the ball for me. Zach was fine.
Just didn't get some
Contest
impotence
the
there
ball,
on the
was
driving
fine.
maul. Candelen, who else? In the final 2 minutes, so this the last chance possibly for Ireland to edge closer. And it's gone forward. Le Garrec seeing wide open spaces behind. And the follow-up is good as well from Doak, and they've lost possession. And there's danger signs here for Ireland.
Onside.
Le Garrec. Garcia sweeps it right. Well, they have to stay firm now, Ireland, in the final minute or so. Le Garrec to Beauchamp. Good angle as well by the flanker. That time, though, they just overcooked it.
He didn't release, he ends up top feet.
And
I think it's George Saunderson. Great impact off the bench.
Yeah, holding on.
Does really well. Beats him to the space. Good, strong body position. Trying to rip the ball up. Comes off his feet, but he's already got the ball at that stage. And that's a big play just before half-time.
Yeah, they certainly needed that because they were under some pressure.
Yeah. Let's focus here, mate.
Richie Murphy spoke about some disappointed players not to be in the starting lineup, and that's the kind of impact you've got to give coming in off the bench. Great turnover there by George Saunderson.
Ireland just looking to see this one out before half-time. Oh, great angle by Ford. Now then, there might be one final opportunity as the clock turns red. As they go the same direction, Candellen round the corner. Doak. Well, both centres have carried with some purpose.
Tackle.
It's gone against France.
Plaquer.
He's got a right smile on his face, Paul Malley. It's not the first time he's given away a penalty. Now then,
yeah, we'll have on the 15.
they settle for points.
Yeah, that's great belief by Ireland playing there. Good line out, throw to the tail, a little peel off the back, and some fantastic lines there from Cahill Ford and Jude Pothaway.
That's good.
You know, running really hard, really direct, back against the grain.
So an important score here for Doak. Straight and true from Nathan Doak, which brings proceedings to an end at the end of the first half. An exciting first half. We've had 5 tries in all. Osborne and Candellen for Ireland. Debes, Beauchaton and Matley just edging France in the lead, but Doak's penalty has just brought them back. So 24 points to 20, still anyone's game at half-time at Cardiff Arms Park.
Hands up. New advantage. Trois. Au jeu. Hands up. Au jeu. Au jeu. Hands up. New advantage. Trois. Au jeu. Hands up. Au jeu. Au jeu. Committed tackle.
Forward.
Committed tackle. Committed tackle. Committed tackle. Maul. Did you say good? Can I check this out? Right, okay. Time off. Maul. Did you say good? Can I check this out? Right, okay. Time off.
Tommy!
Maul. Did you say good? Can I check this out?
Good.
Short, let it come.
That's on the line, sir. That's on the line.
Advantage. Advantage.
Welcome back to Cardiff Arms Park for this encounter between Ireland and France for second place. It's an intriguing encounter at that, with 4 points the difference at the turn. It's been back and forth, very exciting stuff. 5 tries to boot as well, and it's hard to foresee at the moment Mike McCarthy who's going to take this one.
Yeah, it's been a really entertaining first half. As you said, 5 tries, some of them from end to end. And, you know, for Ireland, I think it's about keeping the composure, looking after the ball, retaining it, because when they've done that, they've really stressed this French defence, and gaps and opportunities start to appear. And for France, they've showed how dangerous they are off the counter-attack, and their maul's also been a big weapon for them. Some really clever play, variety in the line out there, peeling around the front, peeling around the back. So an intriguing second half coming up.
Matteo Le Corvec is on in place of Kylian Tixeron, the French number 8. So the final 40 of the campaign for both these sides. Nothing tangible will come at the end of it, but the winner will get the runner-up spot.
Jouez la nef!
Confirmation that Le Corvec is on in place of Tixeron. Kendellen once more. He is absolutely everywhere. France, though, destructive, have slowed Irish ball down. Osborne, he's featured well throughout the course. Let's have both centres, Postlethwaite and Ford, carried significantly.
Use it, 9.
A bit too far that time from McKee. That is substitute Garcia. Banged down by Deves. First try scorer for France. A bit of width here from Ireland, and they have players outside, but Jennings turns out to the tackle. Well, I was going to say the clear out was legitimate, not so according to Sam Grove-White.
Playing the 9 before he's left the ball.
Yeah, playing the man before the ball. That was the offence, and that gives Doak the chance to go further into opposition territory.
Alex Kendellen there, leading from the front as we spoke about. A lovely carry there off the kickoff. Great feet there by Jennings, spinning out the tackle. Look at this, big run up. The bumper bars up, bouncing those French players out the way, and that's a great carry.
Lochnan, well, it was a pre-planned move, didn't work.
You're fine. No advantage.
That's a shame for Ireland.
Yeah, it's a shame. And
knock on in the line, scrums on the 15.
As you said, their pre-planned move doesn't come off, and with a short turnaround between games, you don't get as much time to practice these kind of plays. But the throw looks pretty good, just goes in between the hands there of Mark Morrissey. Mark Morrissey and Harry Sheridan
inside,
continuing that second row partnership from last week.
Scrum is inside.
2 absolute workhorses.
Nothing given in this facet. There've been no penalties. They've been very square, secure.
Set.
But as I say that, France do get a nudge on, and that is in France's favour.
Collapse under pressure. Sorry, I didn't realise. The penalty is for green. Collapse.
Yeah, I actually thought France had gone a bit early there. Certainly looked like it from up here.
It's gone against George Saunderson.
2, I'll keep an eye for you.
Yeah, certainly France winning the hit. getting that go forward straight from the start. So you wonder if Ireland are a little bit slow there.
Saunderson, who's on in place of Temi Lasisi. Disrupted, and here comes Saunderson away with a loose ball. McKee. Oh, just
forward pass.
Just frustrating mistake. It's gone forward from Ronan Loughnane.
Forward pass.
Just overcooked it a bit.
Yeah, after great work from Harry Sheridan getting up here, putting pressure on the French line out.
Space.
And looks like he's done his homework during the week. Been on the laptops, looking at where France like to throw to. A lot of work goes in behind the scenes to try and predict and pick up trends, and great work there, getting up in front of the French pod and
crouch.
Crucial turnover.
Bind. Set. Keep that elbow up.
Strong and secure, and they go blind. Legarec threads one through for Biel Biarre to chase.
In touch for the knock-on for me.
And it was knocked on, but I think
touch for the knock-on.
It was in touch by Osborne before the mistake.
Good man, good man.
Just a little dab through.
That'll do. Bleu, oui.
I'm not sure about that one.
Maul. Neff.
This is the French grunt trying to drive on.
By Bleu.
But it's not going anywhere.
Let it come.
No momentum, so Haddad takes it on, but it's a mistake by Victor Haddad. Doak slams it down. Only as far as Epe, who flings it back in field to Debes. That is out on the full.
Ball was out on the full.
Ireland defending that maul really well, being an absolute nuisance. Swimming up the side, getting through the middle. One of the Irish players had their hands on it, but the referee asked them to release it.
For me, I was happy, but I'll watch. On.
Further change for France. Daniel
Time on.
Bizou. He comes on in place of Theo Bordenard.
No left.
Oh, a bit loose and scrappy
off a foot.
From Ireland. Hasn't gone forward though. Doak tries to get them field position with the high Hail Mary too far that time, taken by Garcia. Straight away comes Bizou.
Stops. Advantage 7, always advancing.
Haddad has given away a penalty. This is an advantage. Jennings, Ireland will try and capitalise, and that's one of those penalties that all referees now are clamping down on. The lazy runner, the offside line, and Haddad has given that one away.
Some big collisions out there. Look at this off the bench. Daniel Bibi, Bizou, running with real power and aggression, bouncing off Ronan Loughnane there. We've seen Alex Kendellen carrying hard and bouncing someone.
Okay. Wait. Yeah, there.
Shane Jennings just unable to stay in here. Good defence from France, but coming back for the penalty.
So lack of discipline costing France dear, and giving a chance for Ireland to come back within a point. Doak struck it well. It's on the way, so he was successful right at the stroke of half-time. He slots another one over. And it brings Ireland within a point as Ireland ring the changes. Ruben Crothers is on in place of Mark Morrissey. Donnacha Byrne as well enters the field of play.
Yeah, both benches are going to have a massive influence on the bearing of this game. It's been a long campaign, over 5 weeks, congested matches with 5-6 day turnarounds. And the bench, whichever bench comes on and makes more of an impact, adds more energy, is likely to see their team through.
Yeah, outside, taken back.
McKee taken by Debes. Oh, brilliant line by Garcia. Now then, they're behind the Irish line. Out it goes to Barret. Moncala was looking for the pass, aching for it. That didn't come.
Advantage.
Legarek, there is an advantage, according to Sandro White. Debes just invites Haddad onto the ball and gets him over the advantage line. Debes once more. No way through, and nothing resulting from the last few phases.
Slowing the ball down. Green needs to roll.
Yeah, it was initially a really good chop tackle by Ruben Carruthers, I think it was.
Shot call, fellas.
The player on the floor being deemed not to roll away and slowing the ball down for this French side. You just can't be on the wrong side. Good tackle initially, like I said. You can see there, just slowing the ball down, affecting the speed of ball for France.
Yeah, let's keep working. No. I have no friends, I speak to myself.
Just pulled that one slightly, and that is a big let-off for Ireland. So, Legarek's 100% record comes to an end. He knew straight away, he just pulled it past that left upright. So that indiscretion hasn't been costly. Epe, well, he was the star of the show early on in the campaign. He hasn't had much opportunity to flourish this time. Hat-trick against England early on when France were ahead, if you remember, by 19 points to 3 in that first quarter. A long, long time ago now. Debes to control things. And it is a tester for Doak. Just about does enough. Back it came, ricochet to Osborne.
Use. All in front, stop, 3, stop.
And that is a gain in terms of territory for France.
Yeah, and I spoke about Jamie Osborne being cool, calm and collected under pressure.
Yeah, been good, same again.
He made that look pretty easy, but you know, I honestly don't think it was. He was in a pretty tricky position. Managed to do very well.
Maxime Baudon from Racing enters the cauldron.
We couldn't get two more match teams, literally, could we? You know, both teams, similar journey, both losing to England, and only 1 point separating them here after 52 minutes.
Off comes Victor Haddad. He's had a campaign to remember. Malé charges on the outside, round the corner is Bizou. Good counter drive though for Ireland. They're strong round the fringes at the moment, Ireland, forcing France through Debes to kick. And that's not a bad result, that's a fantastic result by Thibaut Debes, just threading it through the needle and pushes France 5 metres out.
Brilliant kick. Ireland coming up hard in defence. Pinpoint accuracy. And that's tough when you're a forward, having to turn back and try and exit from your own 5 metre line.
Front ball. But Ireland have done well, they've come away with it as they try to exit cleanly. Osborne bangs it down, anywhere will do, but it's taken only as far as Bielbiare. Garcia. Strong tackle, stops him in his tracks. Daniel Bizou has carried forcefully since he's come on. No crossing according to Sam Grove-White. This is an important part in the contest of the game. Well, he's done it again. It's a case almost of deja vu. Osborne is struggling here, as are Ireland, trying to drive through a France. Well, they've done extremely well, Ireland, because they were at 6s and 7s there, resulting in that kick from Debes. It's not over yet, though. And that's all that Nathan Doak could do in the end, but they're under extreme pressure now.
Yeah, real pressure, and that's another fantastic kick, just bounces over Osborne. But he's threading some great kicks, Thibaut Debes.
It was a carbon copy of the other one.
He ran across me at the same time.
Lot of possession and territory in France's favour now, just trying to turn the screw.
You're trying to get out of the way, but you have blocked it.
But there is an accidental obstruction.
3 tries to get out of the way, it's just an accidental scrum. Time off. 9. Sub.
Yeah, again done for truck and trailer, just getting in the way. Frustrating from a French point of view with that field possession.
Yeah, time on now, fellas.
Ben
Let's
Carson
go.
is on, and off comes Conor McKee.
Let's go now.
Better last time.
Had a busy game, Conor McKee.
Good space, no pre-engage.
So Carson will link up with Doak at half-back.
Time on. Let his head in.
Still a nervy time, just the sense that France are just beginning to gain the upper hand.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Trying to get the squeeze on here and nudge Ireland backwards. They do so forcefully, but Kendellen does very well, comes away with it, takes responsibility and brings Ireland out of trouble.
3-5, stop.
Garcia. Well, that's off the side of the boot. That's a mistake from Ford.
Yeah, coming up to the last 20 minutes, and this game's going to come down to small moments. France certainly getting the upper hand on the scrum there, but Alex Kendellen does really well to pick up from the base of a scrum that's going backwards. Not an easy skill, that. Gets really good go forward.
But it's pinched, and who else? Kendellen comes with it.
Ball's there, you're pushing it into him. Ball's there, you're pushing it into him.
Well, it's airborne, hasn't made much yardage.
21.
Garcia into space. But there also is Harry Sheridan. Doak, who's well accustomed at scrum half, of course. This is where Ireland have done the switch now.
Leave it.
Doak just has to plough for it. Well, they momentarily, Ireland had men on the outside, and it's just been forced on. So
you missed it the first time, then you went on a second.
Pivotal moment this now.
1 and 2.
Yeah, and I said it's going to come down to those small moments. But great work from Harry Sheridan. You know, 3 things in a row. He gets the line-out steal. He fields that little chip over the top, and then he gives a beautiful little tip-on pass to someone running hard at the line. Great work from the second row. Mark Morrissey stole one earlier.
No one down, let's play.
And Harry Sheridan doing the same there.
Let's go, lads.
Great work rate from the second row.
But we were mentioning France gaining the upper hand. They're just winning the territorial battle. Oh.
And it's all going to be about who has field position, who remains the most disciplined in these closing 20 minutes, and what the bench had.
Bind.
Promising attacking position here for France. Options on both sides. Legarec spins one out, miss pass. Gives Biel Barre just that extra metre or so. Garcia in goal France to the opposition 22.
On.
As they try and crank it up now. Well, it's been spilt on. Biziou guilty of coughing up possession. Just a sense, though, of Ireland hanging on.
We're going to have the scrum. So you were tackled, and then you keep on moving, so you go past him, so you place it into him, OK? When you're tackled, you must present the ball, OK? Thank you. We go back for the scrum. Thanks, mate.
Legarec fires a miss pass out, which gave Biel Barre that yard extra of space.
Now. I feel it there.
Yeah, Shane Jennings just getting a little bit tight there, making it difficult for himself. Can't quite get there.
Extra to do it. If I see you players roll extra, I'll be a penalty. Just make sure you present the ball, okay? Yeah. And I've explained my rationale behind that.
Biel Barre just getting on the outside of Shane Jennings, who recovered well. As we hit the 60-minute mark, which means the second water break of the afternoon, as we enter the final quarter.
Okay.
And it's still nervy stuff.
Right, water off, please.
As we have a look at both coaching teams.
A lot at stake, a second place finish, and both teams not willing to give an inch. France with all the territory. But so far, Ireland doing a good job hanging in there. They've just got to get that field position. They've got to get into the French 22. And when they get there, they've got to be composed. They've got to keep hold of the ball. They've got to build phases and come away with points.
Well, the stats just back up, Mike, what we were saying. It's very close in terms of carries, possession and territory.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Doak using Osborne's left foot option. Well, he's not happy with that. Could have done with banging it into the opposition half.
Yeah.
Further changes for France.
Right, time's off. Yeah.
Benjamin Baudot from Clermont, and his Clermont teammate Enzo Quito is on
Ireland,
as well
just on the front
in
man
place
there,
of Paul Mallet. So it's all changed now, a new trio in the front row for France.
Maul. Stay out, stay out. First stop.
That's the first surge. He'll get another one as Le Gorec comes away with it. Variant. Le Gorec just surveying the options. Iziou. Baudon. There are numbers out there. Ireland just failing a bit in terms of their numbers out wide, and it was lucky that that was spilled forward because they were thin on the ground on that left-hand side.
Into your own man, so it's a scrum Ireland.
Yeah, and I think it was spilled forward because of the work of Alex Kendellen on the floor. Being an absolute pest. Newson's going for the turnover, doesn't quite get the turnover, but does enough to disrupt that French ruck.
Game taking its toll now on players from both sides. They were just caught napping on that far side in their defensive line, Ireland, before it was spilled forward. I'm going to hazard a guess, Mike, that we're going to see a lot more of that player in the United Rugby Championship next season.
Yeah, and he just backs it up game after game, and he's an incredible leader in terms of what he does, and he leads by his actions. You know, this is his 5th start of the campaign. He's played a lot of minutes. You know, he certainly doesn't look tired. He's certainly not showing it. His body language is fantastic. And he's just all action. Energy, exuberance, leading from the front in everything he does.
You mentioned CJ Stander, but they have a few options in their back row. Munster, Jack O'Donoghue, Jack O'Sullivan. So they will face a battle with this young number 8.
Yeah, and Coombs getting capped there.
Gavin Coombs as well.
Yeah.
5. Set.
Stability the key for Ireland, but they squeezed the Ireland 8, but illegally so, according to
Blue far side
Sam Grove White.
16. You've got the penalty, Alex.
That was Benjamin Boudou, who's just come on.
Yeah, this bench is certainly adding a lot of size and weight and power for France, but they get pinged there for not driving straight, coming out at the angle. You see Benjamin Boudou's hip swinging out, and that's what causes it to spin.
Just worried from an Irish point of view that all this pressure and territory is going to take its toll eventually, because they're just stuck in their own half and have been for a considerable amount of time.
Yeah, and France coming into this game have had a completely different front row, so the guys coming on are probably going to add a big impact.
Scrappy ball, but here he goes. Kendellen gets them out of trouble once more. It wasn't great ball at all. Doak driven back is Pothelwaite.
Use it.
And that was the sensible option in the end by Doak.
Arrête.
Slammed back by Garcia.
Stop Green in front. 3. Stay, stop,
Deves, no one back there. It's a great kick, threads it through. Now then, Epe is after this, and so is Jennings. The 2 wingers going hammer and tong. Fantastic tackle by Epe, who wins the penalty for France.
Entry.
Great following up. An illegal entry by Ireland. They were under severe pressure, but it all came from that superb kick. Now they've taken it quickly. Out there is Biel Biarré, who steps back inside. for what could be a pivotal score. It's an opportunist try from Biel Barre, the cross kick superb. And it was that guy, Louis Biel Barre, who is in acres of space for a score that could be so crucial.
And we said it's going to come down to small margins. What a try from France. That is incredible. Quick thinking. That is really clever play. Irish defence not set, not ready. And a perfect crossfield kick to Louis Biel Barre. And he does well to finish this. It's not done when he catches it. Watch the footwork. A little spin. In acres of space.
Thanks, Dan.
And that's a big moment in the game. What a chase from the kick as well. Fantastic kick. Number 11, Nelson Epe. Incredible work to get there and make the tackle.
And it's that man, the creator, Le Garec. He saw Biel Barre was floating out there. Now then, can he add the extras? He certainly can. That's a huge score for France, who move 2 scores clear of their opponents.
Is the
And
number 11 coming off as well,
is the result of great vision and creativity from Nolan Le Garec.
Hold on.
And Biel Barre was out to pounce and to score.
Yeah,
Really
time's
clever
off.
work, quick thinking, vision, and the accuracy of the kick. Really well fielded. Lovely footwork to finish.
4th try, so they'll get
Again, just
at least a bonus point.
oh. Wait, sorry, they've just shouted again to stop.
Lochnan is off,
Time's off.
and Owen de Butler is on,
Time on.
as is Chris Cosgrove for Shane Jennings in the back line. Both sides emptying their bench in the final 13 minutes of the campaign.
Yeah.
Kendellen, not quite that time. That's probably the first mistake from Alex Kendellen
Forward and back.
throughout the course of the game.
Yeah, probably the first mistake I've seen him make for the whole campaign, but you know, running into very heavy traffic there. Not much more he could do.
Good balance, just control.
Certainly these moments. France coming out on top on these small moments, small margins.
Of course, nothing tangible at the end of this, with it all being sewn up by England in the earlier game, beating Italy. But they didn't have it all their own way. They had to dig deep.
Set.
But they did enough
Steady.
in the end to dispose of Italy 27 points to 17. So second place is up for grabs. And France edging ever closer. They will get a penalty. Le Garec switches it to Debes. Floats one out. That was forward, but they'll get a second chance.
Losing shape under pressure. Losing shape under pressure. Shot called.
And they're going to settle for points here, and that's understandably so. The pressure just coming through here. And the squeeze has been coming on, Mike, from the French 8.
A real dominant scrum there from France. We spoke at the start of the game, it's their bread and butter, like their senior team, and they're certainly getting the march on there. And the go forward, resulting in the penalty. And for Ireland, without their set piece functioning, it's very difficult to get their game going, because we know they can score tries out of anywhere. Some of the rugby they've played this campaign has been phenomenal, but it relies on having that set piece dominance up front.
Just the one blemish on his copybook so far. It's on its way. It's a massive kick by Nolan Le Garec, who just gives France some breathing space. They're 10 points to the good now, and the Irish task becomes that much harder with around 10 minutes to go. Fantastic kick. by a brilliant scrum half. And that's what it meant to Nolan Legarec. No question of Legarec going airborne that time.
Yeah, if you fall that way, you must get quicker. 20, slow to go.
Well, Legarec is down, receiving treatment. I think there's a bit of cramp involved.
Time's off, we've got some injuries.
I think he may have caught his knee when he was doing the box kick.
This is the resulting penalty. And France shortly will be sending for some more reinforcements. That is Legarec just in some discomfort. But they've just upped the ante, haven't they, France, after the turn? They
have, and Ireland have found it so difficult to get out their half. Yeah. They just seem to have been pinned in their own half for the whole second half. And it's been some great play by France. We got that set-piece domination in the scrum.
So it's the end of a superb campaign for Nolan Legarec. He's been involved in everything, and he has a big, big future in French colours.
France. Step.
So in place of Legarec is Jelidan.
Yeah, big loss losing your captain. He's been inspirational today for France, led from the front. Great experience, having played over a dozen games for Racing 92.
Tioe Jelidan. As Ireland go through the middle. It's hard work out there now in the final 10 minutes.
Advantage Ireland, 14.
There is an advantage coming. So a chance to peg France further back.
Changing binds.
That's better from Ireland, but it's taken half an hour of this half to get into that position, get this field position. But we know from previous games, this Ireland team, they won't stop fighting. They're very spirited. They'll keep going to the end. And we know if they get that set piece right, they can score from anything. So,
well, that tells the story. 52% in that Irish half. They go to the tail.
Ball.
As they're in search of their first try of this second half. Saunderson takes it on. Doak waits patiently. It leaves his forwards take it on. It's taken by Crothers. It's just a bit laboured at the moment. It's static, it's slow. And France can reshape defensively. Taken on though, round the fringes they go towards the try line. They're very, very close, but it has been held up by France.
Ball is on the line, it's held up.
Better from Ireland, and they'll get the 5-metre scrum. So pressure remains on France.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, good work from Ireland. Good build-up play there. It looked a little bit lethargic to start with, but then it came to life with some big, strong carries. Great work there. Driving the legs, almost getting over, but just held up. He's had a big impact, George Saunderson, since he's come on. Turnover just before half-time, and really big physical carry there, and Ireland just need more of that. Really important Ireland stay up. And the French 22 now keep chipping away, coming away with something.
Well, a quick score here would change the situation dramatically.
You happy to scrum, yeah? Yeah.
Still
Time
7 minutes.
Ball held up. Ireland scrum. Balance before ball. Hold your weight. Ballon. Wait for the ballon. Come back. Let's mark is the 5. Mark is the 5.
So this is the moment for Ireland.
Crouch.
And options on both sides. Great attacking platform here.
Fight.
They need stability.
Set.
And
The scrum's gone down at my
it
side.
has
and then
gone
you put
down.
the
They'll
ball.
have to
No, it's the same
go
scrum.
down once more.
The 2 players on my side have hit the ground. Keep your bind up. Elbow high.
Perfect position here for Ireland.
Yeah. You make
Can
sure
attack
you're-
at both sides.
Yeah.
Really important they get a good set piece here. Good scrum.
Bind up. Elbow high. Crouch.
This scrum has
Fight.
wasted about 60 seconds already.
Set.
They need to get a move on now,
Hold.
Ireland. They need a score immediately, but what a scrum by France. And that is a scrum that surely secures the spoils here at the Arms Park. Back goes Doak. And it's a France penalty as well.
Back 10.
And that's what it means to the French players. Brilliant defensive work, a fantastic, destructive scrum, followed up by a long, raking kick. And Doak was adjudged to have hung on.
Wow, and what a statement from that French pack. A real statement there in the scrum.
Back you go.
Great attacking opportunity for Ireland, but they can't get their set piece right. They can't get that platform at the scrum. And this big, heavy, strong, powerful, nasty French pack. Muscle up, get that go forward. And a big, big turnover. Relieving a huge amount of pressure.
Time off. Thank.
Been a real theme of this second half for the French side. Their scrum dominance.
5 green.
And Tamac, Theo and Tamac is on for France.
Just wait. Yeah.
As is
Our sub's complete.
Ferrell O'Donoghue.
Wait, hold on a minute, Fudge, Stephen. Sub's complete. In the 5. Don't shout at. Advantage.
Oh, spilled forward. Well, France are trying to put the gloss on everything.
Scrum advantage green. Use it.
Doak peg back. Now then, it is that time, Mike, for you to decide who your PWC player of the match has
Just
been
the line.
throughout the course of this 80 minutes.
There's certainly been some big performances from both sides in this game. You know, when you look at
Just on the
French
end
side,
of the line.
Matthias Haddad at 7, Jamie Osborne at fullback. He's been ever present. Jude Pothelwaite.
Right, in please.
But today's
Neff.
PWC player of the match is Theobald Tobias.
Maul. Line out.
He's been fantastic all game with his kick pressure. He's relieved pressure, kicking to the corners. The lines of running he's had in the first half, running back against the grain, and he's completely run the show in this second half, giving France great field position.
Yeah, he's controlled things exemplary. Has helped with the pack on the front foot. But needless to say, he's controlled things throughout. France trying to round things off. Jeledan into the final 3 minutes then. Just spills momentarily, Jeledan.
Right. captain.
That is against
I've got a
Benjamin
penalty.
Boudou for
Can't
sealing
shout
off.
decisions, okay. 8. We're starting the weight line now.
We said this Irish side wouldn't stop fighting. 2-3 minutes to go.
Decisions. 8. All right. You can't shout. Yeah. You can't shout.
How they sum the campaign up?
Just calm it down. Thank you.
Well, from an Ireland's perspective, I think obviously they'll be hugely disappointed if they're not going to get this second place finish. But an exciting group of players are coming through, and Richie Murphy's really made sure everyone's developed, had the opportunity to get out there and express themselves after having that 15, 16 months with no game time. So it's been important for everyone to get a chance and develop. And then France obviously going to go away from here with that second place finish, which will be massive for them.
No leg.
Soroka is the main source of possession in the middle of the line.
Change. Advantage, 20 changes.
It's driven on by De Butler. There is an advantage, the outstretched arm of Sam Grove-White indicating. Saunderson, who's featured well since coming on. Ireland trying to get the final word with their third try, still playing advantage. Another surge, this time by Carlson.
Still advantage, Green.
De Butler round the fringes, almost under the bar now. Kendellen would be quite apt if he could get there after such a brilliant campaign. Still keeping it tight through De Butler. Staying firm of France though.
We'll go back.
And they'll have to go back.
2 penalties, no arms tackle, and round the side.
Well, there's a few penalties that Sam Grove-White could have picked from there. As they take it quickly, it's Kendellen. Not that time. Desperate to finish off with the final flourish are Ireland. After going down to England, they won't get the result against France. Kendellen scores, and he gets the last act of this campaign, and he's been a brilliant performer for Ireland. It's not going to end in victory, but nonetheless Alex Kendellen has been one of the star-out performers for this Ireland side.
And we said they wouldn't stop fighting, playing with real pride, real heart, and Alex Kendellen, he just doesn't stop. He keeps going. He's got a serious engine on him. And look at that, fighting to the last minute.
Well, Doak quickly took the conversion, dropped the conversion, and couldn't add the extras. So Ireland will have to go for broke. We're up to the 80.
17 off feet.
One final chance
Off feet.
for Ireland. Well, we've had some drama in this campaign. Who's to say it's all over?
I think we're in for a grandstand finish.
Well, they need accuracy first of all at the line out. He's got a big future as well at Ulster, Nathan Doak. He's been taught well.
He's been
by
taught
Doak
well.
Senior.
Exactly. There's been a few famous fathers, sons playing in this campaign.
Maul.
Son of Neil Doak, of course.
4, no more, 4, stop.
Well, they've got an awful long way to go, have Ireland. It's going to take something special. It's a mess.
Down by Green.
It has gone down. Not so. And that will be the final act. A loud, shrill blast by Sam Grove-White. It wasn't to be for Ireland. It has been a pulsating fixture. Both teams have given everything hammer and tong, but in the end France had enough pace, power and creativity in their armoury to edge it in the end at Cardiff Arms Park by 34 points to 28 and secure a second place finish in this year's Six Nations.
But there we are. Commiserations to Ireland, they stuck at it till the very end. Well, congratulations to France. Running winners by 31 points to 28.
That's what it means for the French players. It hasn't been a championship winning campaign for them with that blemish in round one against England, but they've struck back well and more than deserving of their victory against Ireland.
Yes, certainly, and a really big second half from France. Absolute set-piece dominance from the scrum. They really gave this French team a real platform to play off. But two very evenly matched teams. But that second half performance with Thibaut Debayas pulling the strings, Six Nations Under-20s player of the match, he was phenomenal. Putting this French side in the right areas of the field, kicking the corners. And some lovely tries from both sides. But it ultimately came down to that set piece and that quick thinking crossfield kick by the French for that sublime try. And some tired bodies out there after a long 5 weeks, congested campaign.
But both teams will gain from the experience, and the next generation have been on show. Many will feature, I'm sure, in their respective domestic leagues over the next few seasons, and will go on to feature in their senior sides. France, in the end, having just that little bit too much firepower for their Irish counterparts, and doing enough to finish in that runners-up spot. Plenty of encouragement for Ireland, though, and especially from their captain Alex Candellen, who's been a star performer. He's been everywhere, and just a few words of encouragement for his Irish squad, who've given their all. But France took it in the end. Man of the match, Thibaut Debayas, and that will be awarded by captain Nolan Le Garrec.
Yeah, today's PWC Man of the Match, Thibaut Debayas, félicitations. Cela signifie quoi pour ce groupe de terminer ce tournoi avec une victoire?
C'était vraiment important pour nous de finir sur une victoire, parce que c'est la fin pour nous des 2001 des U20. Donc on avait à cœur de bien finir et de gagner ce dernier match ensemble pour partir en beauté.
C'est une vraie bataille pour la deuxième place. Ça nous dit quoi du niveau de cette compétition?
Que le niveau a été très très relevé tout au long de la compétition, que malheureusement on perd le tournoi sur une mi-temps contre les Anglais, mais on est content d'avoir bien fini ce tournoi et d'avoir fini à la deuxième place.
Et qu'est-ce que votre évaluation du tournoi? Qu'avez-vous appris en 5 semaines?
On a appris beaucoup de choses, surtout quand on a joué beaucoup contre le vent lors des deuxièmes mi-temps de tous les matchs, où on était mis à l'épreuve par toutes les équipes. On a appris à gérer des matchs et à gagner des fins de match, donc voilà.
Merci beaucoup,
Merci
bon
beaucoup.
voyage.
Merci beaucoup.
Okay. Thank you very much. Stand by.
J'imagine que vous êtes très satisfait avec ces performances.
Ouais, on l'avait dit, après le match de l'Angleterre, il fallait vite se projeter sur la suite de la compétition. On a pris match après match, et aujourd'hui on est très content de bien finir ce tournoi. On a montré un beau visage aujourd'hui encore, je pense. Et voilà, on va renourrir quelques regrets, mais on est très fiers de cette rencontre aujourd'hui.
Et Philippe il m'avait dit qu'il veut les joueurs jouant, expressés. Ça, c'est votre philosophie?
Ouais, je pense que le rugby français a beaucoup de bons joueurs. On a eu quelques matchs où on a eu du mal à se structurer, sortir de notre camp. Mais c'est vrai qu'avec le ballon, on est capable de créer des choses et tous les joueurs ont un super instinct. Et j'aime ce jeu.
Et c'est un grand moment pour ce groupe, le dernier match que vous êtes ensemble.
Ouais, il y a beaucoup de joueurs qui vont nous quitter. Il y a des joueurs qui ont fait plusieurs années. Je pense à Mathias ou Paul qui ont joué déjà depuis 3 ans avec cette équipe. C'est des grands monsieur pour notre équipe et on voulait leur rendre ce soir sur le terrain.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Merci.
Thank you.
Stand by then. Office Latimer.
Yeah, good. Alex, how do you reflect on that match? A game with fine margins.
Yeah, it's a tough one to swallow. We were confident coming into this game, but France really put it up to us in that 50-60 thing, 60-50 part of the game, and they suffocated us down in our half, and it was really tough to get out. But credit to our lads, we really fought to the end, and I think an extra 5-10 minutes it could be a different result. But look, it's a tough one to swallow.
It was a real battle, and that for second place. What does it tell us about the quality of this competition?
Yeah, it's huge for us. We said we wanted to take it game by game coming into this tournament, and I think we did that very well. We just fell short with England and France, but look, it's been an amazing tournament.
And Alex, you've started every match, I believe. Plaudits from the commentators today. A sense that this is just the start of bigger and better things to come for you.
Yeah, look, the boys put me into the right positions, and I'm lucky to get on the end of them. But yeah, we've had an amazing tournament. It's been really enjoyable, and it's all credit to Liam, Scully, and Richie. They really put their best foot forward, and I think that allowed us to put our best foot forward.
It's been a pleasure to interview you.
Thanks
for your
a
time.
million. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Stay, stop. Entry. Green 20, side entry.
Watch out!